Hello, everyone. Well, first question I want to ask is, does anyone have a busy brain? I know my brain cannot stop thinking. And that's the problem with so many women out there. And we are going to talk about how to calm your busy brain with Dr. Romie here. She is one of the leading physicians in the country in neurology. She's an integrative medicine doctor and also founder of Brain Shift program that she has offered to so many corporates out there. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Amita, it's so great here to be with you and the entire Nourish Talk team and all of the listeners and followers that are watching live or watching the recording later.
Thank you. So let's just understand, what exactly is busy brain? What does it mean?
Okay. Amita, I'm going to start just by introducing myself so people understand where this whole concept came from. I'm a brain doctor, and what we found is I thought I was having difficulty before I got burnt out and gave a TED talk about 10 years ago on the subject. And then I realized as a founder of BrainShift Institute, I get hired by Fortune 500 companies and athletes around the world to help high achieving professionals. And I noticed, wait, I'm not the only one that has these symptoms. In fact, high achieving, high performing professionals seem to undergo the same thing. And by the way, we're talking about adults. It's these symptoms that have been maybe not ideally labeled or treated by Western neurology and psychiatry. And that during the day, we have difficulty focusing. There's too many browser windows open on our computers and in our brain. And then we start feeling anxious a little bit more and more, right? And then what happens? We're using caffeine or a stimulant like Adderall all day to go, a stimulant, and that feeds anxiety. So at night, we can't stop thinking. We can't have a personal life. We keep out of FOMO checking our work emails or our social media. And you need alcohol or a sleeping pill to fall asleep at night. You have difficulty falling asleep, or you wake up in the middle of the night and your mind is running a marathon. That's a busy brain. Difficulty finding focus during the day to adult onset ADHD, anxiety, and difficulty falling and staying asleep. And in working with thousands of people and corporations, especially since the pandemic, when we went virtual and created our program, we were able to do research on more than 17,000 people and collect the data from the Busy Brain Test, which, by the way, is free on my website and all over social media. And we'll put the link here as well, and come up with what are the symptoms, and more importantly, what is the solution? And that's what a busy brain is. And that is the subject of the book that is coming out from HarperCollins in January of 2024.
Wow, that is very impressive. So we are talking men and women
Yes.
together. Both of
Yeah.
us, have busy
All
brain.
genders. Yeah,
All
all
genders, right?
gender assigned at birth. But I know this platform focuses on women, and there's actually differences. And that's what I wanted to delve in with you today.
So absolutely. So now our focus is mainly on 40 plus women, or women going through perimenopause. And that's the time when, actually it starts, so it's late 30s or 40s. And at that time, a woman has probably kids, two teenage kids at home, work going on, all these crazy symptoms that are creeping up. Busy is an understated word. There has to be another word for busy brain, like a higher word is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, no, please. I want to respect my phrase that we've trademarked, a busy brain, right? It's something, it's the syndrome of those three things. We know people, like you mentioned, who have children and they may have a job. They may be caregivers for elderly. You're trying to do philanthropy, volunteer work, and then you're supposed to have time for self-care. You want to be productive, not busy. But busy brain, let's not relabel that. I want to, make sure, because that is what we've trademarked, and we call it the busy brain syndrome and the busy brain cure. But what we see with women is often they think, or they've been told by the doctor, you're just anxious because you're not sleeping and you're overworked. Your schedule is packed. You have too much going on. Or you have ADHD, you have difficulty focusing, you've got too much going on, or you're not sleeping, you must be depressed, and things are getting missed. You mentioned something really important, Amita, is while I know the focus here is on menopause transition, which is the word we use in the West now for perimenopause and menopause, that when women start having symptoms in their late 20s, early 30s, and late 30s, sometimes they think, am I going through menopause symptoms early? And we found in our research for the busy brain that this is a disturbance in a woman's circadian rhythm, and that this can be a hormonal imbalance. And it's not just your ovarian sex hormones, but maybe it's your thyroid or adrenal gland. So for anybody that's listening, going, wait, I'm not above 40 yet, I just want that message to be for you is any woman, Amita, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, and they come through the brain shift protocol, the cure for the busy brain cure, we first and foremost address thyroid and adrenal glands first. So I really wanted to get that out of the way before we label it perimenopause, menopause transition, or menopause. So that's step one. Now let's dig into what I know you're eager to get into, and that's menopause.
No, I think that's a really good point. I mean, we do focus on perimenopause, but we also start from the puberty all the way to postmenopause, the
Yeah,
journey of the entire
yeah,
women wellness. But
yeah,
the reason I bring the perimenopause is because now the women, well, of course, hormone balancing is very important when you're in
yes,
your 20s, 30s, all
yeah,
that. But the
yeah,
perimenopause is a stage of every woman's life that's going to happen to every single woman. The reason I bring this is because suddenly they say that there are over like 30 plus symptoms now that
yeah.
I'm going to start, inheriting, and out of nowhere. And I just gave birth to my kids and my kids are fine. And now suddenly this new thing has come. And how do I, as a woman
Aw,
with busy
yeah.
brain, how do I handle this? Is what
Well, so
anyone
first of all,
question.
yeah, the first thing we do with any woman before we assess if it's a menopause transition or women that have been dealing with the menopause transition or menopause is, did we miss treating a thyroid and adrenal gland? Because when there's a disruption in the circadian rhythm and you have these symptoms of a busy brain, we look at that first because, and how do you know that's you? Well, maybe you did go talk to your OBGYN. Maybe you're on hormone replacement therapy or bioidentical hormones, and you're still having a busy brain. If you're not sure you have a busy brain, by the way, go to drromie.com, at Dr. Romie on Instagram, Twitter. You can take the busy brain test for free, and you'll get your number and your results emailed to you. So it's drromie.com, and look for the button that says take the busy brain test for free. And we'll put the link here. So that number one, if you have a score above a 30, you're starting to have symptoms of a busy brain. How do you know if it's your hormones then? So we check thyroid and adrenal gland. If that's okay, then we start looking at your hormonal symptoms. Now, just because you're going through perimenopause or menopause transition or menopause doesn't mean you're going to get a busy brain. It's just for some of us, we get that pattern of neuroinflammation in the brain that's making those symptoms worse. So I really want to be clear about that. And yeah, there's potential of 30 to 50 different symptoms that can be happening as a part of the start of menopause and menopause. But this isn't meant to bring on fear. And not every woman is going to have all those symptoms. It really has to do with the state of inflammation in our brain and in our body and in our spirit as well. And that's part of integrative medicine, that we want to address all three: mind, body, spirit. But today we're here with me to discuss the mind. So does that help a little bit, Amita?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to understand a little bit on the program, because now you bring a very important topic
Yeah.
about the thyroid, the adrenals, which a lot of us ignore, right? We never
Yes.
pay
Yes.
attention to that.
We can't afford to ignore that. And that's a key focus as a neurologist and integrative medicine doctor, that and women, anybody assigned female at birth are going through with me. We always start by first saying, screening for symptoms. And, for anyone that was assigned female at birth, Amitha, always in my career, even as a traditional neurologist, I always consider the menstrual cycle an additional vital sign, just like your temperature, your blood pressure, your heart rate. We always consider the menstrual cycle that. And when it was off, that we jump to sex hormone issues. But even if there's a challenge with estrogen, progesterone, it could be the thyroid or adrenals driving it. And if you don't treat the thyroid gland, whether it's hyper, overactivated thyroid, hypo, a low thyroid hormone levels, or an autoimmune disease in thyroid like Hashimoto's or a thyroid cancer, the symptoms such as weight gain, difficulty losing weight, feeling bloated no matter what you eat, your libido is off, your menstrual cycles are irregular, either happening too frequently or not happening frequently enough, heavy bleeding, all of those things can be symptoms of an over or underactive thyroid gland. And as a brain doctor, I pay attention to that, because when there's an under or overactive thyroid gland, I'm starting to see symptoms like the ruminating anxiety, the challenges with sleeping, a brain fog potentially, depending on if it's high or low. So I think a key message here is, if you have symptoms of a busy brain, step one is check your thyroid. Step two is looking for adrenal fatigue.
Wow. Okay. That's great. So now what do we do? What what is the
Yes.
mantra after that? That is the
Right?
big question.
Somebody is
Yeah,
watching this going, Romie, fix it on Instagram
I
live
know.
right now in the next 10 seconds, or I'm logging off. Please don't log away from this great platform in the Nourish Doc team. The truth is, Amita, you said it. It's a lifetime, a woman's cycle, that somehow inflammation is built up because we have these full lives, and sometimes life gets out of balance, and so does our brain, body, or spirit. I can't give you the solution in the next 10 seconds. The key message that we give here is, you take the busy brain test. We have an 8-week protocol that we actually start by resetting the circadian rhythm, starting with the foundation of sleep. Shift stands for 5 key areas. S is for sleep. H is for your hormones. I is for markers of inflammation. F is for food, and T is the role of technology, in that order. So often women want to rush and be like, give me the right hormones to take, Dr. Romie. And I'm like, great. I'm like, well, we need to fix the sleep cycle as well and do something for that. And so when people log on and take the busy brain test, we give them the 7 days, the first 7 day of the brain shift protocol, as our gift to you of what we've researched. So do that and start with that. The second step is, anytime you're having these symptoms around your hormonal health that are also in the brain, the anxiety, the difficulty sleeping, the brain fog, honestly, stop Googling and go to a doctor, whether it's a OBGYN who deals with hormonal health, an endocrinologist, a naturopathic doctor, somebody that can check your labs and look at thyroid, adrenal, and your estrogen, progesterone levels. Whether that's through blood, a saliva collection, urine testing, whatever that is, every doctor has their method, and all of that needs to be balanced. And that isn't a solution I can give in 10 seconds of take this supplement and you're fine,
No, absolutely. And that's what we are trying to do, is that there is no one single pill that our society is so used to. Take
Yeah,
this pill and then, oh, you're going to look great. That's not how it is. The holistic
yeah.
part, the integrative part to what you're doing and what we are trying to do is really changing your lifestyle, right? Do you
Well,
want to comment a little bit on that?
it's partly lifestyle, because here's the thing, Amita, I'm a registered yoga teacher, a mindfulness teacher, and mindfulness-based stress reduction. The last thing a success-driven professional, that's typically my community, anybody watching here that has a busy brain, they don't want to hear, oh, you just need to chill out, go with the flow, eat berries and breathe, and everything's going to be fine. There's something deeper going on. That's why I'm here with you today. That's why we have a test. You get a number, and there may be a need for labs and an assessment. This isn't just about berries and breathing. So yes, are there brain shifts or micro habits that we help you take, with starting with resetting your circadian rhythm with sleep? Absolutely. But what we find is one size doesn't fit all. Just like the beautiful blouse you're wearing, or the blazer that I'm wearing over my pink yoga t-shirt right now, right? One size doesn't fit all, and neither does curing a busy brain that's making menopause or menopause transition symptoms worse. So that's why, to personalize your treatment, we're going to need a little bit more data. Like you said, there isn't always a supplement for my symptom or a pill for my ill. I kind of want to get to the root cause of things. And for that, we're going to need some labs.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This is a quick 10 to 15-minute session that we bring on a daily basis. Any other thoughts before we wrap up? This is great.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so people are like, wait, I've had a busy brain my whole life, Romie, and now I'm in menopause. Is there any hope? There always is. I always end by saying your brain is not broken, your mind is not a mess, and your spirit did not depart your soul. We have free resources for you on my social media and on my website. Go to at Dr. Romie, ROMIE, on social media here on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn, or to my website. You can take the busy brain test for free, and we give you the first 7 days of the protocol as our gift to you.
Well, thank you so much. I think I will do that for sure. You've convinced me to do that. So I'm going to take that test myself and convince everyone that, it's important to test yourself, to assess yourself
Yeah,
first, like you talked about, the
yes,
personalization, and what works for you might not work for someone else. So that's very,
absolutely.
very important. And that's
Yeah,
what we are here to. The personalization,
yes,
the holistic therapies, the integrative
yeah,
therapies are personalized to you. So
yes.
that, thank you so much, Dr. Romie, for joining me.
Thank you,
And
Amita, and to the whole Nourish team. This has been great. It went by so fast.
that's right. We keep it
I know.
short and sweet. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Bye bye.